Welcome to the Life's Better podcast, where we say life is so much better with God, community, and purpose. And you might be wondering, where the heck is Jonathan? Or has Jonathan turned into this dude? He hasn't. He's on vacation. And we thought it'd be a cool time to also discuss, graduation and all that stuff, because this is one of our students, Zach. How long have you been going to our church?
I think this is year 5.
Oh, wow. Man, time flies, because it doesn't feel like it.
Because I started coming in 8th grade.
Yeah, that would be 5 years, which is crazy. Going on 6, 7, 8, who knows how long Zach will be with us.
I don't know.
No, but he's about to graduate, and, Zach is also just a really good example of a student who we've seen make God a priority, make God, when we talk about God, or life is so much better with God, community, and purpose, he's found community, and not only that, he's invited people here, made the community an important part of your life, and then also purpose, right? Which, who knows what Zach will do with his life, but I do know to some degree ministry will be involved, because This dude loves to share his faith and loves people, and it's just cool to see all of those come into play, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But I thought it'd be fun to play a game, which we always do at the start of our podcast. And so we're going to do some questions that are a little less about God, community, and purpose, and more just get to know you. And I thought it would also be fun, just like in your career, how, we might start off simple. Like things you learn about God will be simple. But then over time, you start to learn a little bit more complex things. So these are all about to say. I'm going to ask you some normal questions, normal continuing questions, and then we'll end with some unhinged, weird questions. Okay. You ready for that? All right. So the first one, really, really easy. What are your favorite sports, Zach? And also, have you, played any sports?
Okay. My favorite sports, I like watching basketball. I like to wrestle. I like watching wrestling too. I wrestled. I've done archery.
Yeah.
That's about the main two.
Yeah. I was about to say, I remember coming to one of your meets and getting to watch you guys do archery, which I think is the most baffling school sport that we let you guys have weapons and you're shooting at targets, which is just crazy. We're training our kids to defend the school, I guess. I don't know. But you did well in that, and then all of a sudden it was just I'm going to go do wrestling instead. Yeah. And you've been doing that for 2 years, right? 2 years, yeah. And you went from, I remember you'd come and tell me, Josh, I lost, every match. So now you're doing really well, right? Yeah. So Zach's improved quite a bit. But basketball is your favorite to watch?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. And not NBA, but I like college basketball.
Yeah. UK fan?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, good. All right, second is dream job. You have a dream job. If you could have any job, it doesn't have to necessarily be the one that you're going for. If you want to talk about that, you can. But what is your dream job, Zach?
Dream job? If I could be a photographer at national parks.
Okay.
Just get to be in nature all the time.
Yeah. Have you seen
that'd be nice.
The people who work at national parks who are fire rescue people?
Yeah.
They just live in a tower and they watch for fires, and they're alone. They're pretty isolated, but they get paid 6 figures to just live up there.
Dude.
6 months of the year. That's nuts. I think that's really cool, but I couldn't do it.
If there's a fire, then I'm not gonna.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? I think you're just supposed to call it in, and then they but you're the first eyes on it. You have that. But I like people too much. I don't think I could live isolated like that.
So Emily could go with you.
That's true. Yeah, if I could convince her, we could easily live off of just 1 6 figures. That'd be real nice and easy. But yeah. So dream job is photography at a national park.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Next up, we're gonna go up a little bit level in weirdness.
Okay.
What is your not favorite food, but favorite spicy food to eat?
Oh, I don't do well with spice.
At all?
Not at all.
Okay.
I think buffalo chicken dip is about as hot as it gets for me.
Okay. Hey, that can be kind of spicy. A little bit.
Maybe
Do you eat buffalo wings?
Yeah, those are good.
Okay. I would say that's pretty spicy too.
Trying to think of something spicy I've eaten recently. I don't eat a lot of spicy stuff. It might be the jalapeno Cheetos is the spiciest thing.
Oh, dude, I hate those.
Probably
yeah.
in a while.
Okay. Yeah.
You hate those?
I don't. I don't
Cheese
like.
and jalapenos together doesn't seem like it tastes good to me, but it's not too bad.
The older I get too, and I think you'll find that this is true for most people as they get a little older. Like that fake, like dusty cheese that's on chips and Cheetos, like you gradually just decide is gross. Like you learn to not like it.
Really?
But as a kid, you're like, this is great. Like this is amazing. I remember loving and eating Cheetos all the time. And then as I got older, I was like, this tastes so fake and bad for me that I can't do it anymore.
Really?
It makes
so what
me
do you
feel
so what do
sick.
you do when you're at like a party and you have the chips in front of you? What are you picking? And it's only like
Man.
Cheetos and Doritos.
I will eat a Dorito if I have to, but if that's the only option, normally I will just like pass. I'll just eat whatever else. Like,
Really?
I'll go home and eat. Like I don't know,
That's
like
crazy.
if there's pizza or if there's like baked goods, I'll do that. But like not the fake Cheeto dust. No, I'm not a fan. Maybe some of you adults who are watching are like, Josh is crazy. No, absolutely still love it. All right, this one's even more unhinged. If you could have any animal as a pet in the entire world,
Terrible.
and it gets tamed, so like you don't have to like we're not just handing you a tiger and you have to deal with it, but like it's tame, it wouldn't kill you. what would you choose?
Ooh, kangaroo.
Okay, why?
I think they're cute. I think they're like funny. I like the way they're like humans, but like rabbits at the same time. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
And I'd prefer if they just stay like a baby kangaroo, but not like
okay.
they're not where they need their mom at all. Like
Yeah.
that medium stage.
Yeah. Okay. So one where you could carry it around in your like hoodie pouch rather than it carry you in its pouch.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want that.
I don't want to be baby kangaroo.
I mean, that would be kind of cool though. Instead of a car, you just hop on hop in your kangaroo. I don't know. I would probably choose. I think that wolves are really cool looking, and like those really big dire wolves that are coming back. Have you seen that?
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah,
Oh, they look so
They're, like,
pretty.
massive.
And if they were tame, like they weren't like
dogs are.
yeah, like I would love that. I think that would be really cool. And like they almost get big enough to where you could ride one, and that would be sick.
And
Like-
then here's the thing, though. Like Emily, how's she gonna do with that?
Oh, she would love that. She would.
Really?
She would be okay with it probably more than me.
I
be
thought
honest with you.
she would just be like a small dog. type of
Yeah,
person.
I mean, this is all hypothetical,
Well,
but
true.
but we do prefer the tinier dogs. But if we got a dire wolf, we'd probably move. We'd find a way to like get it some more space. All right, this one is our second to last question, and this is one I got from another podcast. I just thought it was really funny. But knowing your love and our students' love for McDonald's,
Oh,
I decided to ask you this. So for $1 million, $1 million, do you think that you could eat $1,000 worth of McDonald's in 48 hours?
and $48,000 worth.
So that's
That's
2 full days, and you could stay up as late as you want, but you need to eat by yourself $1,000 worth of McDonald's.
That's 100 Big Macs, dude. That's a lot of.
Is that how much? Are they $10?
They're like
Big Macs?
90. So yeah.
Yeah, like with tax, I bet it'd be about. So you
Yeah.
have to eat 100 Big Macs
Okay.
in 2 days.
I think I could crank out the first 5 in like 20 minutes.
You can eat 5 Big Macs in 20 minutes.
Do you not remember last year on With the Public Falls, they had that double quarter pounder in like 30 seconds?
I do remember that actually. Yeah. And you're kind of like I don't want to say anything like that you wouldn't agree with, so feel free to push back. But like people who do wrestling,
Yeah.
I feel like you guys are used to eating a lot all at once and then not eating anything for a while.
Well, with me, that's a lot for most people, but with me, I never really had that problem. Now, I will say there was a time where I cut 10 pounds in about 2 hours.
Jeez, dude, that's crazy.
I had to layer it up. But I mean, that is just
What would your
because-
plan be if you were trying to get $1 million in 2 hours or 2 days, by eating $1,000
Okay.
at McDonald's?
So I think I'd start with like, okay, so it just has to total up to $1,000.
Yes, yeah,
Right? 40-piece McNuggets. Those things are like $30 a piece.
that's true.
So
Do you think that you could pound that many chicken nuggets though?
do I get to have a friend to help me, or is it just me?
I'll tell you what. You can have a friend, but you
Okay.
got to tell me who your friend is, and you have to
Skylar.
split the money. Oh, that's a good choice. Skylar loves McDonald's. I think that he could eat a lot of McDonald's. I've not
It's
seen him
gotta
eat
be
much.
Skylar or Davis, because Davis eats.
Oh, Davis.
Davis throws
Mm.
down.
He'd be in my top 5 to choose from for sure. Because Davis,
Who are your other 4? Celine's gotta be.
Selena does love. I don't know. A lot of our students love McDonald's,
But can't eat them all.
but I don't know if they could really eat that much.
Because I watch Skylar bring in like 4-piece nuggets sometimes.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd want somebody who I know would really want that $500,000 and likes McDonald's. I'd probably pick Skylar. Skylar loves McDonald's, so I
Yeah.
think that I don't think in 2 days he'd get tired of McDonald's, right? Like,
Yeah, but you're like pounding it down. It's like it's like 4 boxes an hour.
as long as he did like part of his, if he did a quarter of it, I think I could do this.
Really?
Legitimately, I think if I prepared, like didn't eat anything like 2 days beforehand, and like even mathed it out, like apple slices. You know how you can buy apple slices? They're
Yeah.
like 15 calories, but I think they're like $1.50. It's like I just order a whole, like, give me all of your apple slices, and I'll just be pounding apple slices for most of it. But yeah, I think it's possible. I think it's doable.
Okay.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. It's a
You want to test it out?
sure.
No,
Yeah,
not
you
for
like
$1 million stuff.
we just raise $1,000 to try to do this video.
I'd do it.
That'd be pretty funny. And then the last one, the internet wants to know, and we have not talked about it on our podcast. But do you think if there were 100 copies of you, that you could fight a gorilla?
Oh, 100%.
You think 100 Zacks could take on is it silverback gorilla?
Yes.
You think you could do it? Okay, what is your strategy with
Okay.
your other 99 Zacks?
So the first 15, they're going for the private area.
You've thought about this, clearly. I did not give him this to prep, but he was very ready for this question. So first 15 are going for the privates. Okay.
Okay. And then there's going to be 20 in the back on
Okay.
the other side of the grill.
Okay. They're going to
And
circle
they're,
around.
They're jumping on the back.
Okay.
They're just there to make distractions.
Yes.
And then the rest of us, after we like pound on that gorilla for a while, we're just going to start going for eyes.
Okay.
After he's
Yeah,
down,
yeah.
wailing in pain, we're going for the eyes, and then we're going to have about whatever's left just choking that gorilla.
Yeah. In case any of you are like, why in the world is he asking this question? This is like
This is like pretty popular on the internet. Right
huge, right? Like
Yeah.
everyone's talking about like, could 100 random people face a silverback gorilla? Which silverback gorillas are monstrous. Like
They're
can,
like 500 pounds. They're not that big.
well,
Like that gorilla's not going to throw a punch.
okay.
It's going to do something. Have you ever watched gorillas fight? I'm assuming.
No.
don't
you?
I've seen it on the internet.
Did you look this up because of this
Yes, I
question?
did.
Okay, that doesn't surprise me.
So they swing their
Mhm.
arms. They're not connecting with their fist.
Hmm.
So more than likely, you're gonna get hit by a bicep.
Okay.
And I think 10 people with that, if I choose 10 people, I think 10 people could get the job done.
Only 10.
Yeah.
Oh, man. You have a lot of faith in humanity. I don't think 100 me's can take on a silverback gorilla, to be honest with you. I appreciated your answers. I love your gorilla, like that you had actually thought about it. I did not expect that. I expected you to be like, I have no idea. But I appreciate that you've actually thought this through. All right, let's go to our more important questions. So first off, in case people have no idea who you are, we already talked about like how you've been here for how long?
5 years.
5 years. Where have you gone to school? Like how might people know you?
Okay, so I go to school at Anderson County High School right now. I'm graduating next week.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to ask you a little bit more about like when you first got here, which if I remember right, who was it that brought you to youth group or invited you
It was
first?
Kelsey.
thing? Yeah. And what did you think like when she first asked you to come?
Like I was like, oh, okay. I'd been going to church somewhere else, but
Mhm.
we kind of had left that church. I don't remember why we did or not,
Mhm.
but I was kind of looking to be around more people my age because it was all older people.
Yeah.
And she was like, hey, we have this youth group. It's really fun. You should come with me one week. And this is about 8th grade. It was right after COVID had just ended.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, I'll come. But I'm going to kind of be by your side the whole night. So.
Yeah. I remembered you coming. And I remembered you being kind of quiet, which is weird to think about now because like you're one of the most outgoing like students that we have, I think. But what was your understanding of God at the time? Like,
Oh
how was your
man,
relationship with Him? Like, did you have one? Like, what did you think of God?
I didn't really have a per se relationship with him. Like I knew who he was. I could probably answer like any Bible trivia question
Yeah, yeah.
that you had, but I don't remember at my old church really thinking about connecting with him and seeing him as someone I could go to.
Mm.
I kind of just saw him as a genie, if you could say, "Hey, will you do this for me?" And
Yeah,
I didn't really see that there was a purpose in connecting with God until I came here.
yeah. Okay. So you just talked about like purpose of connecting with God. What was that to you, or what drew you in to want that? Or if you can remember, I know that might have been a while ago, but like, what made you start to change?
Okay, so I think I really struggled making friends when I
Mm.
was younger. Um, Still do sometimes, but I came here and everyone was just really nice.
Mm.
I was like, I feel included here, and I thought they were just gonna look at me weird.
Mm.
But I remember my first time here, Ethan Holt had came up to me and he was just messing with me because we knew each other. And I was kind of skittish though because I was like, I feel like I'm in his area and I don't want to
Mm.
be afraid. And he started messing with me. It was all fun. And then McKinley came up to me. I had no clue who McKinley was at the time. Now
Mhm.
we're really good friends.
Yeah.
But I remember McKinley, like, he said, "Is this guy bothering you?" I said, "No, not really." He goes, "Ethan, if you pick on him, I'm going to beat you up." And I think that's kind of what started mine and McKinley's friendship because I felt like, okay, well, I actually have someone to stick up for me.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. No, and it's cool that you mentioned that because, and we can get that to this in a little bit, but that type of interaction I've heard many students say about you now. Because now that you've gone through it, like you're, I would say, a very important part of our youth group. But on top of that, like you make it a point to be that for other people. I've seen you and I've encouraged you to like when there's somebody new, like go and introduce yourself. But like I don't even have to tell you that half the time. You're just willing to. And would you say that like part of why you do that is because somebody did that for you?
Maybe deep down that's what it is. I've never really recognized
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
It's just the way I've been since. I think camp that first year is really what is. I was like, okay, I'm involved now.
Okay.
That's why I'm here.
Which camp was that?
It was Camp Calvary.
Yeah.
We didn't go to Falcon Tulsa.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wow, this is where I definitely want to be. And I'd been going for like 2-3 months, and Gus was like, "Are you gonna go to camp?" I was like, "What's camp?" It's like Camp Calvary. I had been once before. I was like 7. I was like, "Sure, I'll go. How long is it?" She's like, "About a week." I said, "Oh, okay, that's not bad." And she goes, "But it's hot." I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Yeah, it's gonna be hot. We're outside all the time, but we still get to go inside. There's air conditioning, right?" She's like, "No." It's like, "Oh," and then I ended up going anyway.
Yeah.
I didn't really care once I got
Man,
there.
so glad you did too. Like, what do you remember which theme that was?
I
can't remember.
Pretty sure. What is it? Worship.
Worship, that
Yeah,
one,
the
which
big
everybody
one.
says is the best like camp shirt we've ever had.
That was a fire shirt.
I've been chasing it. I've been chasing that. Like I want people to say like this is the new best camp shirt.
Last year's
nobody.
great.
I liked last year's a lot, but we're trying. We're trying to
This
get there
year's
again.
gonna be good.
I think it will. You guys, you and Will picked the color.
Yeah.
And you want to tell everybody what the color is this year?
It's like a pinkish purple.
Yeah, like, and it's like very very light, like baby.
If I
like,
could,
you know what I mean? Like it's not
this,
hot
but in like
pink.
a pink.
Yeah, like it's not like a. It's like I don't want to say dull. You know what I mean?
Pale?
Like a pale version.
Pale pink.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Thank you. Because I would have drawn the line in the sand if you guys were like hot pink. I'm like, no, I don't want to have a hot pink shirt. I will never wear a hot pink shirt. Really.
The struggle with that is like trying to pick a shirt out that everybody's gonna wear.
Yeah.
And most guys, unless you're me and Owen, are not gonna wear hot pink.
I think most like bright colors too. I just don't wear. Like I feel bad, but the one that I actually really like the design for, and then now the colors, like I'm never gonna wear that out, is the like light blue purple one that we did. Do you remember?
Yeah, what was that one?
It was
I got
at the
sick.
table. Don't give the enemy a seat at your
I
table.
love the design on it. I was like, this would have been better if it was like black.
Yeah, I regret that one. I still have the design. Maybe I'll just like special order some shirts for us one time, and we'll have it because that was my favorite year. Yeah,
I think it would have been my favorite year if I hadn't gotten sick.
Yeah, that was
I was
that was when people
ill.
started getting real bad and sick. It was gross. Okay, all the way back to you came. You're there for 3 months. Kelsey invites you to camp. You come to camp. When was it that you felt like? I think you kind of mentioned it. Like this is home.
Like exactly when, or I can give you like a roundabout time.
Yeah, go for it.
I think it was going into freshman year.
Hmm.
I was like, none of these people are going into high school with me. I just made really good friends with, like Owen, which is now my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
We went. I was like, he's homeschooled. I'm never going to see him in school.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of made me nervous, but then I realized we have youth every Wednesday, and that's when I started like realizing there's a connection there and a purpose in the community.
Yeah.
And community is what really drove me to come back every week. It's because I finally felt like I had a family that was my family.
That's awesome. Part of our youth group, and I've been doing this for at least 3 years now, so you gotten to be in it, but we desperately want people to experience godly, healthy community, then connect with God intentionally personally. But then the third aspect is to develop your gifts and talents through serving others. How have you seen, like, how have you stepped into opportunities to serve, and how have you seen, like, God continually show you, like I've gifted you with this, or I've gifted you with that?
Okay, so I think the first instance of me really doing this is when I first started helping out with Kid City.
Yeah.
And then Kid City turned into serving at church camp.
Yeah.
Which came full circle. I think it was a year after I went to Wilderness 3.
Yeah.
I started helping in Wilderness 1.
Which you've done how many years now?
I'm not doing it this year.
Yeah.
But I think it's been 3.
You did 3 years. I was going to say, I thought it was 3, but yeah.
But that's been great, and that's allowed me to kind of give back and help others realize that are younger that there's a point in growing a relationship with God. And I can use my experiences from church and from the camps that we go to every year to help with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And on top of that, you're on the student leadership team with our youth. I think you were part of the team that helped with VBS.
Yes.
Yeah, which
twice.
Yeah, twice. I didn't get to see it last year, but I got to see you the year before do it. And like Zach, you do such a good job with the kids. And you, on top of that, like, there's been a couple times where you've shared with our youth group, whether it be testimonies or like a Bible study here and there. But like, what made you want to start sharing like the gospel with people like that?
Mainly just looking for people that have similar stories as me. Like watching people give back, and that there's a purpose in just showing people what God's love every day. And that's always been big for me, is because you don't really know what someone's going through. So why be mean?
Yeah.
Just give what you have in your heart instead of giving what the world wants to give to you.
Yeah, absolutely. And one person we saw that in, who clearly you had an impact on, was one of our students now, who you got to baptize at camp a year and a half ago.
I think so. I think that's right.
Or maybe 2 years ago, almost.
It would be 2 years in July,
which is Kaylee.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that and what that meant to you.
It meant a lot because she came my first year at camp, and she was on my team. And I could tell that she was related to Joanna by how much she wanted to be around Joanna. I'd also helped in Kid City before that, so we kind of knew each other.
Yeah. I didn't know that, actually.
Really?
That's really cool.
Then the year after the first year, she came back to camp. I was like, oh, okay, what's up with this? I was like, I'm glad she's here. And then she started to connect with me more and not just be a shy kid. She's never been shy, don't get me wrong. But she would constantly come up to me, asking me to go play games with her,
Mhm.
just connect with her. And then she was like, at the end, I think it was Wednesday night of that week. Is that the one you came and spoke at? You spoke that week. Yeah, you did.
Can't remember. Maybe. I don't think it was me. But I did come. I played worship. I don't think I
I
spoke.
think that's what it was.
Yeah.
But either way, that same night when you were there, she came up to me afterwards, saying, "I want to get baptized."
Mm.
I was like, "That's great. Let's go talk to Bethany and Joanna and Allison about it." And she goes, "I don't think you understand what I'm saying. I want you to baptize me."
Mm.
And I was like, "Okay, we can talk about that." I said, "Joanna can help too." She's like, "No, I want you to baptize me."
Mm.
And she got baptized that Friday of that week, um, which meant a lot to me because I felt like I had finally had an impact on somebody.
Mm. Yeah. It's a good feeling, right? Like. I mean, obviously, God's responsible for bringing all people
Absolutely.
to Himself, but like, it's cool that He uses us, right? And for you guys to know, like, the story doesn't stop there. Like, I mean, Zach has had impacts on other students as well, but like Kaylee, one of the coolest things that I get to see is when a disciple becomes a disciple, they then disciple other people. And so, what's it been like seeing her like invite her friends and have that impact as well?
So I think the first instance of this was Emmy, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Emmy or Selena, I can't remember.
It was
Emmy got baptized first, but I think Selena came first.
Yeah, well, they were all, there was like a whole crew of them, like Lincoln,
Like
Emmy, Selena, like all of them started coming pretty soon. But like Emmy gets baptized, Kaylee has an impact on Lincoln's baptism. I think Emmy ends up baptizing Brooklyn, who helps with Addie. Like there's the list goes on and on and on, right?
At our camp last year,
yeah, which is really cool.
That was amazing to see because I thought it was like, okay, I don't know what she's gonna do when she goes to school because she started coming to youth group too, but we weren't really as connected to youth group as we were at camp.
Yeah, which is, I mean, understandable. Like camp is,
and then as she started coming around youth group more, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go hang out with her, like. And then she started bringing friends. It's like, oh, okay, this is great. And then she brought Emmy and Selena and Lincoln all for the first time, and then that December, I watched Emmy get baptized, which was amazing to see Kaylee do something at such a young age. These girls aren't even in high school yet, and they're already making huge impacts on people. And the way they lead their faith with such pride, and they go to school and they show that. Yeah, like I've seen firsthand. I think there was a TikTok video that Blaine posted recently of them singing "I Thank God" in school, and, like doing the motions.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
I can show you the video later. It's awesome. I was like, oh wow, they are really showing out. Yeah, and you can tell just by the way they act here too. Sometimes that they're going out and telling other people because why are these people coming? It's because they're telling them about Jesus and about our youth group. Yeah, people want that.
And I don't know if you've really spent much time thinking about it. I hope that you do. And maybe you're hearing this for the first time, but like you can't like say like you never need to put like their faith on your shoulders because like that's not the case. Yeah. Like that can actually cause a lot of stress. Coming from somebody who sometimes will be tempted to think that way, and then I have to be like, no, they're all. But
I think I've done that. And then I realized I did that. I was like, oh, I do not need to be doing that to myself because that's sabotaging my own faith. Yeah, it makes you want to walk away from what you have.
Yeah, it makes you scared, right? Like
because you don't want them to leave. You don't want them to lose their faith.
But you can't put them on you. But it's cool to see, right? Like there is an impact that's being made. Like God worked on you. He brought you here. He's shown you how important community is. He's given you purpose, and he's given you gifts and talents. Clearly, because you're sharing your faith with people. You're being kind the way that people were kind to you. And then it's having an impact. And I think seeing that, like, for lack of a better word, fruit of what you do is part of why I love what I get to do. Because, and not only that, but to see them become little disciple makers too. Like, you've gotten to see that on a much on a pretty quick scale with
I
Kaylee.
know.
But like I've gotten to see that with like Lily and like some other students who have gone on to like lead in cool ways and stuff. And so my question, like, also because like you mentioned Asbury,
Yes.
and you've also told me like you don't know and you shouldn't like there's no way that you're gonna know exactly what you want to do, but like ministry will be in your future to some degree. Am I right in thinking that? Do you know why you want to do that? Like what makes you pull that way?
I think seeing the way that you impact others' lives, and you've impacted mine so greatly. I want to be that person for somebody else. I want to be someone that someone can come to and learn and develop instead of having to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
Because there's ways people learn their faith differently. You can come to youth group, you can really dive in deep, and you can, or there's the harder side, which is the hurting and needing to find an answer, which is fine. That's the way you come to God. There's no wrong way to come to God.
Yeah.
But I want to be a positive light in someone's life and lead them to Christ.
Yeah. Which is the last aspect of our youth ministry that I try to pack into things. It's after you experience Godly Healthy Community, which you hopefully did when you first got here and it drew you in, then to connect with God intentionally, personally, which I've seen you do time and time again, then develop your gifts and talents through serving others. Like, man, through Kid City and all of these different things, you've slowly but surely figured out, like, I want to be a light. I want to be kind. I want to invite. I want to share. Like all of these things that like God has been working on you eventually leads to now you guess what? You get to lead others as a disciple maker, which we just heard Zach talk about. Not only is he doing, but hopefully like we'll see him do time and time again as he graduates and moves on. But if any of this resonated with you guys, know that for us, life is so much better with God, community, and purpose. And he has a plan and a purpose for your life. And all you have to do is find that community, latch onto it, and grow in your faith with God. Thank you so much for Zach. To Zach for being on.
Thank you.
Make sure if you are listening to this to just like let Zach know that you're proud of him and that you're praying for him as he goes on. Which is actually how I'd love to end this, if that's okay. Can I pray for you as we end? All right. Father God, I thank you for just this opportunity to talk with Zach about not only his time at youth, but just how he's grown closer to you, how little things have impacted him and shifted his life in such a dramatic way, God. And it's just cool to see his heart for not only others, but for you. And God, as he graduates, I just pray just a tremendous peace over him that goes beyond understanding, that as he goes into summer and goes into this next chapter of his life and this chapter of high school ends, that you just show him that like the best is absolutely yet to come. That yes, he might have had really great experiences here, but you have so much more for him in the future, God. And he doesn't have to be scared of it. He can just be excited and willing to step in because you know what's absolutely best for him. And we love you, God. We pray all these things in your name. Amen.